you doing? My name's Nate Q. Druen. Welcome to Drummin with Druen. Today, we are going to begin this new year with a beginner drum lesson. This is all about the Boots and Cats drum beat. The most popular drum beat in modern music. Started as the rock beat for rock and roll and has pretty much expanded to all genres you could hear in modern music. So once you learn this, you could play hundreds if not thousands of songs. So if you're a beginner drummer, you are in the right place. And even if you don't have a drum set, we could still get this done. It's going to be a little different in terms of the feet, but you do have the hands to just play on whatever you can find. You can slap your thighs and you can just tap the floor with your feet and you're good to go. If you do have a drum set, feel free to use that. But if you don't want to spend the $500 on that just yet, you're still fiddling around with drums, but you want a little more than the hands and feet, I always recommend starting with a pair of sticks for $10 and a practice pad for $10. Maybe 20 if you want a nice one, but that is as much as it'll cost you. Alright? Go ahead and find a place to put that practice pad on a desk somewhere safe and sound, and go ahead and grab your drumsticks. Let's start with the basics here, alright? Drumstick technique is all about pinching the stick and not gripping it with a fist. It's more of a delicate pinch, and you want to find the fulcrum point, otherwise known as the balance point of the drumstick. I have some Pro Marks here. I also have some Vic Firth sticks. A lot of different drum companies make a lot of different drum parts. We got the drumstick guys, we got the drum head guys, the cymbals and everything else, the shells. But for drumsticks, Vic Firth is kind of the Coca-Cola, if you will, of drumsticks. And they got a little flag that is usually a good indicator of where to put your thumb on the stick. But if you don't have this particular stick, if you got another brand, or if your sticks are even just blank, I always like to think that around a quarter up the stick is a good spot to pick, or you could even say cut the stick in half and then cut it in half again. And that's usually a good spot to pinch. Put your thumb on one side and pointer finger on the other. That's what's really doing the work. Some would say that the first three fingers are what's mainly pinching, but your back two are really softly touching the stick. You're not gripping it like this, like I said before. It's sort of meant to expand out and in, out and in. It's not going to be a fist all the time. In order to play fast, you got to let your sticks breathe in your hand a bit. Another cool way to think of it, it's kind of like a carriage. Your pointer finger will be holding the stick. I like to think of those little wooden cuckoo clock birds that kind of dip their head in the water, you know what I mean? A good spot to start is with bouncing the stick. And imagine those cuckoo clock birds pivoting, that point where the legs connect with the pin to the rest of the bird, and it just pivots back up and back down. So you're not, if you're holding it with a super clenched fist, it's just going to be a dead stick. You want to leave some room for the sticks to breathe, and there you go. Once you get all that down, you want to turn your wrists out a bit. Not too much, but not too far in. I always say if you could see your fingernails, your hands are a little too turned inwards. And they got names for them. When you're super flat wristed, that's the German grip. And when the thumbs are up, that's the French grip. And for whatever reason, the American grip is right in between. You do tend to use a little bit of each of these for the drum set. But while we're sticking with the practice pad here, let's get the old American grip going. And just right, left, single stroke's always a good place to start. But talking more about positioning, of course, we always want our prim and proper posture. But you also want your sticks hovering just above the middle of the drum. You don't want them just resting on the drum, making extra sound all the time. Just lift it an inch up, and a good first exercise to always start with is 8 notes on each hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to do that 8 times. So that was 4, 5, 6, and at the end, we're going to end with just one last tap on the right hand. This is called the downbeat. Ready, go. And that's 8 notes on each hand. Really good spot to start with on the practice pad. Once you're done doing that a bunch of times, always play with a metronome. They got apps on phones now. You could just look up websites or whatever you need. Start at 60 BPM, work your way up to 120. I like to go by like 20 in between each. So if I just did that at 60, then I would bump it up to 80, then I'd bump it up to 100, then 120. And then you could aim for another 60 BPM up to 180, or 200 is always a good goal, but that's pretty fast if you're starting off. Once you get those 8s down though, back to singles. That's everyone's first thing they do when they go to drumming, so just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then you got doubles, where you're going right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And then we got paradiddles, your first rudiment, which is just combining singles and doubles in order to get right, left, right, right. That's a right-handed paradiddle. And then we got left, right, left, left. The left-handed paradiddle. Put those together. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Paradiddle, paradiddle. All right. So there's what you could get started with on the practice pad. $10, $20, all you need. And then once you feel comfortable with that, you can upgrade to the full drum set. Now we can do those same things on the drums. But the band's not going to be jamming out to your drumline exercises, are they? So now let's get back to the Boots and Cats drum beat, where we started off here in the beginning of the year with a beginner drum lesson. Back to basics. All right, so now that we learned that 8 note on a hand pattern, we can apply that to the hi-hat. But we're going to keep going with our right hand the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The thing about counting to 8, that 7 kind of throws you off with the extra syllable. And the thing about music, we have a lot of 4s. There's this thing called the time signature that kind of determines how many numbers we're dealing with in the music. The most common is 4-4, which means we're just going to keep counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time you count to 4, that's a measure, also known as a bar. The thing is, we don't want to move those numbers around. So instead of counting to 8, we're going to add the word and in between each number. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, now that we got that down, we're going to put the kick on 1 and 3. And then we're going to put the snare on 2 and 4. That's called the backbeat. And this is going to form our Boots and Cats beat. All right, I'm going to start this up from the top. We're going to go with just the hi-hat first, then we'll add the kick, then we'll add the snare. Go ahead and feel free to play along with me if you got the kit. And if you don't, play on your hands and feet. Have some fun. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and add the kick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and add the snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now what you can do is just move your right hand to the right. Wasn't it? So at the end there I did a little mini drum solo, and that is called a drum fill, where it's not quite a whole entire drum solo, but we kind of fill in the music. You know, the band stops playing or the singer stops singing for just a second as we're switching sections. The drummer is usually the person to set up the next section with a drum fill. So like I said, we got lots of 4s in music. Here's the most basic drum fill to get you started. And in that case, I just switch from hi-hat straight to ride. But usually how you want to use this is in between switching cymbals. So we're going to do 4 notes on the snare. And if you have extra toms, you can kind of play this however you want. Usually we'll have a second tom or a third tom here and where my ride is. And when you have that 3-tom setup, snare, tom, 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 it's really easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 drums, you do 4 notes. 4 times 4, 16, and those are 16th notes. It all just adds up. So, in this case, where we have only a 3-piece in terms of snares and toms, I like to go to the snare, go to the high tom, go back to the snare, and the floor tom. Let me demonstrate. At the end of that, you can do a kick and a cymbal. Could be the ride, could be the crash, could be the hi-hat again. Usually whatever you're transitioning to. Most commonly it'll be the crash and then the cymbal that you're going to in the next section. But whatever floats your boat. So let's play that a little faster. 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into. Awesome possum. Alright. Let's do one last round, and this is something where you can kind of keep this going forever. Just hi-hat, drum fill, ride, drum fill. Hi-hat, drum fill, ride, drum fill. And you could start a band with just this. So the ultimate goal of this video is to take you from being a beginner to being able to play boots and cats, and you can just jam out with your friends, family, rock and roll, all that good stuff. Here we go. 1 and 2 and boots and cats and... Awesome job, you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by the Drummin with Druen YouTube channel. This is just the first of many more to come this year. This is the beginning, boots and cats. We'll be moving on to some more advanced topics, but if you ever get lost, you can always come back here and get back to basics. Thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I still don't have an outro. So I'll see you in the next one. I was thinking, I kept saying, peace out, Girl Scouts. I don't like that. Peace out, Boy Scouts. Not cool. What about Drummer Scouts? Is that like not the lamest thing you've ever heard? Peace out, Drummer Scouts. No, it doesn't work at all. See you later, alligators. After a while, crocodile. Oh, this one's gonna end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Toodaloo!